Even though the lyrics to Seek and Destroy from the debut album Kill 'Em All, 1983 sound super aggressive and like they're about hunting or battle, the song isn't based on any specific real murder or war event. The song was written as an outlet for anger, that classic young adult energy, and the aggressive drive of the thrash metal scene. But behind this legendary track, there are some interesting facts and stories. 1. The riff was written in a sticker factory truck. James Hetfield said he came up with the main guitar riff while he was still working at a sticker factory in Los Angeles. On his breaks, He'd sit in his truck outside the factory and play his white Electra Flying V until he landed on that riff. 2. Frustration with the Los Angeles music scene. The aggression in the lyrics was also fueled by Metallica's frustration with the glam rock or hair metal scene in LA in the early 80s. They didn't fit in with LA audiences and clubs that were all about glam and looks totally different from Metallica's raw, heavy sound. That feeling of alienation and anger is what they poured into the song, right before they eventually moved to San Francisco. 3. Inspired by Diamond Head and Saxon. James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich have said the song's theme and structure were heavily influenced by Dead Reckoning by Diamond Head, an NWBHM band from England, or a new wave of British heavy metal. And the 3 mini-solos before the main solo were inspired by the melody from Princess of the Night by the British heavy metal band Saxon. 4. The bum note that haunts Kirk Hammett. Kirk Hammett recorded his guitar solo in a short session with very few takes. At 3:47 to 3:48, there's a string bend that's slightly out of pitch. Kirk has joked in interviews that accidentally sour note still haunts him every time he hears the song, even though the producer at the time thought the take was good enough. Even though the title sounds like a military tactic like Search and Destroy from the Vietnam War era, James Hetfield has said the song is more of a young aggression anthem and concert energy call-out, not a war history narrative. Beyond the technical facts about how the song was made, there are some interesting, unique, and more specific backstory details about Seek and Destroy that the general public rarely notices or talks about. 1. Banned from radio after September 11th. After the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001 in the United States, Clear Channel Communications, the biggest radio media conglomerate in the U.S., released an internal list of more than 165 songs considered inappropriate or insensitive to play on the radio. Even though Seek and Destroy was written a decade before the event and the lyrics aren't about real terrorism, the song still made it onto the blacklist because of the title phrase and the theme of verbal violence, which were considered too provocative during the crisis. 2. Early demo versions still featured Dave Mustaine and Ron McGovney. Before it was recorded for Kill 'Em All with Kirk Hammett and Cliff Burton, an early version of the song was already on Metallica's legendary 1982 demo tape, No Life Till Leather. On that demo, Dave Mustaine played lead guitar and Ron McGovney played bass. The early lyrics had a few differences, and James Hetfield hadn't added the iconic "alright" shout at the beginning of the song yet. 3. Lessons from Joe Satriani that made it into the studio. When Kirk Hammett replaced Dave Mustaine right before the Kill 'Em All sessions, Kirk was deep into guitar lessons with virtuoso guitarist Joe Satriani. Kirk said that when he played the solo for Seek and Destroy, his head was full of the theory and techniques he had just learned from Satriani. For years, Kirk has joked that he hoped his teacher, Joe Satriani, wouldn't be too critical of the sloppy bend at 3:47 in the song. 4. Became a pro wrestler's theme song. Even though metal songs are used in sports a lot, Seek and Destroy has a special history in pro wrestling. Legendary wrestler Sting used a live version of Seek and Destroy from Woodstock '99 as his entrance theme. It became super iconic for him in WCW and TNA in the late 90s.